Ba-ba-ba. You guys can hear my voice, but you can't see us. Now you can. Welcome to the
Wow.
Black Side Fireside. Welcome to the Black Side Fireside Chat.
Yeah.
I am your host, Connor Erikstead. This has been that one.
Hello.
This one's Matt, and this is a nice scene. How are you guys doing this evening, this Tuesday? This is going to be a shorter stream. If you've tuned in for gameplay, if you've tuned in for fun and memes and antics, we can only give you one of those things. Up to you, viewer's choice. If you've tuned in for some information and to get pumped for this Friday's release, then you are at the right place.
Yes.
How you guys been? Have you figured that thing out? What?
I think so.
There's an agenda, right? We got a few things we need to talk about. What should we talk about first?
Slick split screen we got going on here, Connor.
Yes.
Imagine if we went live and there was just a fourth person that none of us knew. That they were just like there in the corner and they're like, "Hi, I'm
like
James."
eating a TV dinner, like in their recliner.
Just like eating mac and cheese. He's just like, "Oh, hey guys." No, go ahead.
"Oh, who is this?"
No. Don't mind me.
And we just like play along, and we're like, "Oh, it's the guy, Mac and Cheese Man." Like Connor said, it's gonna be a little bit of a shorter stream tonight. Connor just got back from vacation. We're really busy getting this week's release ready, but we figured we'd just do a bit of a Q&A stream. Kind of give you guys a bit of a
thank you for the like.
Bit of a sneak preview of what's to come this Friday night at 6:00 p.m. CST. We will go live as always and launch the very first Don't Look Back Cursed Crate.
You guys are frozen. Why are you guys frozen?
Why are you frozen?
I don't think I'm frozen.
Why'd you freeze us, bro?
You're back. Hush your mouth. Hush it. I'm doing so many things right now.
So this is a really good chance for you guys to grill us and Matt, who is the writer extraordinaire of Don't Look Back. He's cooked up some insane shit for you guys. I guess first of all, we'll get through the boring stuff first. We have just put live a service called Zonos on the website. What is Zonos? It kind of sounds like a robot overlord type thing. Whoa. It's come down from the space and it's here to enslave mankind. It's not that, but we'll find out. Okay, so Zonos is this is something that Connor and I have been working on, mostly Connor, I will say, for the better part of 6 months. And it is a payment gateway for non-USA residents where they can purchase our products, prepay their shipping, and prepay any local taxes and fees. This is something that we are really excited about. As you know, we've had a lot of issues with shipping to the UK, shipping to Canada, shipping to any part of Europe. And the really exciting thing is we can ship to a whole host of additional locations. So pretty much anywhere in Europe now, anywhere in Asia. There's still a few countries that we won't ship to, I'll be honest, just purely for logistical and
highly political reasons.
Fuck Russia, am I right?
Specifically Russia.
It's just that there's a few countries that we won't ship to due to like massive issues with their shipping system, like shipping local post service. Like we won't ship to Italy. Italy is like one of the most, nothing against people from Italy, or I'm really sorry, but like every time we've shipped stuff to Italy, tons of times in the past when I've shipped stuff to Italy, it just goes missing. So we can't do it. Whoa, dude, Domomax dropping the gift subs.
Whoa.
Damn, thank you.
Damn, dude, let me, that deserves some bubbles. Let me go get the bubbler.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get the bubble machine. I'll keep talking about boring shipping stuff. So how it works is, now this is day one. All right, this is going to be a bit of a soft launch. We're not gonna probably announce it on our Facebook, but if you're outside the US, when you go to checkout, you're going to go to a different checkout screen than what you would usually see. It's okay. It's not a scam. We're not trying to steal all your info. And you're going to be able to prepay any of your taxes. Now, this is the huge thing. Is through the Zonos services, whatever you pay is your guaranteed amount. Okay, as long as you select the right options and stuff. So let's say you're in Canada and it tells you got to prepay, I'm just inventing this number, $27 Canadian, right? It'll tell you that's like your guaranteed landed cost. So when you get your package, you're not going to get some fee from, the Canadian government being like, oh, look at those bubbles. Man, look at that.
That's all over the computer. That was a mistake.
I love it.
Thank you for those gifted subs, Domomax.
You should eat a bubble.
That takes skill I don't possess, Ben.
That's toxic.
So yeah, the guaranteed landed cost is huge. And we can now ship to the UK again. This is insane.
And also the EU. And anytime the EU or the UK decides to change their rules at a whim and make things super difficult, it's not our problem. It's Zonos. Yeah. It's great.
It's
wonderful.
So this is new. This is new for us. This is new for we've been working with Zonos. It's like a kind of an initiative that we did through UPS. So all of the shipping is UPS based as well. So you'll have a multitude of options. You can get super expensive, like if you're some Saudi oil prince and you don't care and you just want like overnight shipping from Texas, you can get that for like $1 million probably. You can get much cheaper economy options. And we're going to probably adjust some of those as we go this week. We're going to kind of monitor a few things and maybe adjust some stuff up and down. So this will mean a couple of things though going forward.
I expect those subs, Domomex.
It is going to be very difficult for us to do split shipping and add-on shipping. Okay, because we have to process everything through. So for our Canadian bros, we're not going to be doing consolidated shipments anymore, all right? Because things have to get prepaid through the system. The taxes and all of the weights get assigned, and we can't like add on extra items into a box. Everything gets like, yo, why are you gifting so many subs, bro?
He said if I took a shot of bubbles that he would gift more. He's a man of his word. Oh, no reason.
That's crazy.
Right. So like you said, it's going to be one shipment. What you pay for is a box that your country is expecting. So that's the box your country is going to get. At the same time, like any disputes, any issues with you not getting it, it should be faster because like it just clears right through customs. They don't have to call you. You don't have to wait for the email or phone call that you don't get. If you don't get it, it's, again, not yours or our problem because everything should have been taken care of. Unless you're selecting delivery duties unpaid. Because that will be some options. If for some reason you want to choose to mess around with your own country, totally fine. Happy to let you do that.
But I'm going to say this right now. We will not accept any returns if people do delivery duties unpaid. So if you do that and then you get the Canadian government's like, hello, sir, please give me $85 extra. We won't be accepting any, like, if you send a package back, I'm not refunding your money straight up. You can chase me. You can chase me for that one.
Yeah. Fallherk had a question. How is shipping determined in places like before? So that's WooCommerce is our backend, and it's pretty decent. It works. Shipping is incredibly messy, terribly frustrating, and maybe the worst aspect of the entire platform. There is probably 24 shipping rules about weight, size, dimensions. New like Joe, thanks for the like. Glad to see you here. And you type in all these rules, and half the time WooCommerce ignores half of them. Half of it's based on where you're from and how up to date WooCommerce's information is. So, like Quebec is different than Ontario. Those might be the same things. I don't think they are, but depending on like what happens, that may not even be correct information. And we have to manually, more or less, click boxes, type in numbers, and select stuff, which is why every now and then something would be like obscenely off. Because, a product was put in instead of 10 pounds, it was only 1 pound. And that's why it charged, or instead of 1 pound, it was 10. And so hopefully this kind of like takes all the guesswork off of our end and yours. It pops up, you check out, and that's it. You pay, you know what you paid, you don't have to worry about it, it'll show up in the mail. That is the goal, at least. Eponymous Rex, resubscribe. Thank you for the resubscription. Good to be back doing bubble. Oh, yeah, let me get a few more of these bubbles going on. Less shots this time.
And did you say, too, that with this, they'll even get them faster now, too? Because there's not, like,
so like,
shenanigans?
When stuff is already paid for with UPS, I don't know if they fast track it or if it just doesn't get rerouted or something, but like we've checked off all of the boxes on our end as we can. So we've said what type of product it is, we've stated all of the necessary background stuff so that when UPS scans it, they look at the information and they should just say, oh, it's all here, and then they hand it to Canada or France or whoever it is, and they just load it on a truck and send it.
It all just like it feeds all the information into the shipping barcode as well. So
it should be approximately the same, but a lot less nonsense for both you and us. Now,
in some cases, though, you may find that it's cheaper for the heavier, more expensive packages. On the lower end, like if you're just literally buying a $12.99 miniature pack, it's probably not really going to be worth it. You're probably going to want to do some consolidating.
But it should still be accurate for that pack. So like exactly. And so instead of us setting a rule that ends up punishing you for like, oh, you could buy 1 or 5 for the same price, it should get a little bit better, more accurate shipping information, because that Zonos' entire business model is like disinformation. They've just added on the shipping for not fulfillment, the shipping payment processing on top of it. Up until this point, like how they started was they would consolidate this information and sell it to companies like us to use. And then at some point they realized, why don't we just use it and then charge them the money? You know, like, so.
All that said,
I don't have the restraint.
I said, this is kind of like the soft launch. I'm not going to be posting it on any of our socials yet. We'll probably give it a few days, just make sure there's not any like massive like bugs or anything. But that's the system we'll be using going forward. This was a necessary change. Our volume has really ramped up over the last 12 months, and it's really important for us to like try and streamline our processes. For people like Doug and Lucas and Jonathan and Connor, who are literally packing your orders every day and getting them out the door, any time saved is really important to us. Zonos is live now.
Yep. When you go to Black Site Studio, as long as you're not using a VPN to try to trick someone, it reads your IP, figures out what country you're from, and should assign it automatically. Down the bottom corner, there should be a little flag of your country. If you click on it, it'll give you a little bit of information. And then when you go to check out, it should take you through their payment, which is our payment for international. It's like a joint payment gateway thing.
Yeah.
So.
So that's the boring housekeeping stuff out of the way. As always, if you have any questions about Zonos, you can always email us. It's new to us too, so you're going to have to bear with us a little bit as we're learning, or you can obviously drop them here.
And there is some weird back-end stuff on our end about like actually processing the orders, since it's not through WooCommerce. There's a lot of like hullabaloo, which was also why we're doing a soft launch. So hopefully we can get a few orders under our belt in the coming week, figure it out, and then when we announce it and possibly get inundated. Forgot that word. Get a ton of orders and we'll be ready and all of that. So there's a lot of wetware bugs that we're going to have to work out too.
Yeah, but hey.
But we're here, so thanks. Thanks for we were trying real hard.
Another quick thing about what's up, dude? Another quick little housekeeping thing is we just shipped out it's probably the largest single shipment we've ever done. I won't go into this in too much detail because I don't know all the dates and stuff, but we shipped a huge amount of Don't Look Back copies off to our consolidator. Yes. And those are all going out to most major distributors in the United States. So if you are a regular at a gaming store, I guarantee that gaming store is going to have an account with Alliance, Golden, or any of those main ones. Have them reach out and have them stock Don't Look Back. So Don't Look Back is technically available at distributors.
Starting, is there a start date for that?
That's what I don't know. So it's got to flow through a few different levels, but pre-orders are open, and you should be, if you're a store or that kind of thing, you should be able to reach out to your local rep and chat to them about it. And if they don't know what you're talking about, then just be like, "Yo, what's up?"
Because it should be on the list already. I just don't know if it's like, I don't know how. I'm not a store. I don't order from Alliance, so I don't know how that process.
Yeah,
works.
yeah.
But it should be. It
just depends.
It's there if you look for it. You may not see it right off the bat, but if you're looking for it, you should be able to find it. So
yeah. I don't have the full list of the distributors that picked up the game but I do know that Golden is one of them. I'm almost 100% sure that Alliance is one of them. We had a couple in Canada. We had one in Australia pick it up. So there should be a few places. None of them in the UK or the EU yet have picked it up, but we are working on that.
I thought there was one EU.
There is one person in the UK that we are set to ship some package stuff to.
I thought there was one EU distribution company.
I'm not sure.
Maybe.
I'm not sure. But we'll have more information on that UK stockist, hopefully within the next week. That's just the Don't Look Back core game for now, okay? We're not planning to sell any of the MDF into distribution. It's far too heavy, and it's not something that we produce at quantities for distribution.
The only type of MDF we would even consider, which we have considered to some degree, is stuff like the Sundered Empire kit, like full, large, easily boxed and labeled kits. But as far as anything else goes, it's the whole reason we took it out of the Don't Look Back core box, because it was just very prohibitive when it came outside of anything of shipping to direct to customer. Let's see. We got a few questions coming through. What's Zonos? Zonos is if you're in the US, it doesn't matter. If you're not in the US, it is who will be fulfilling our payment for products. We'll still be shipping and doing everything, but Zonos calculates duties, taxes, everything. It will collect it up front. So once you place your order, we ship you the package. It gets right through customs and is delivered to your door at a guaranteed price.
But only that you only need to worry about that if you're outside the US.
Fuck, heads up when you log into account, shipping us to know after I order. That is very strange, and I don't know why.
Something. Yeah, we get like I just said, there'll be some bugs we're going to iron out with them probably over the next few days. I just did a test thing.
We're announcing it to 36 people and not our 12, almost 12,000 Facebook.
Yeah, exactly. The plan is we iron out a few of the kinks, so on Friday it's kind of maybe a bit more ready. I did a test order just before, and it displayed all the shipping costs for me up front. So I'll check into that later on.
Yeah, Falk,
actually, no, I won't. I won't check into it. That's their job. So
right,
they'll
Falk,
check into it.
If you're in our Discord, if you could take some screen grabs, just so we potentially can just forward it to them and be like, hey, one of our guys is having this issue. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
Just message us. No, not Fall.
All right.
Fall Herc. LOL.
So
that's the admin stuff, and we'll figure that out. Fall Herc.
Yeah.
Thanks for already looking at the order. Appreciate it.
Let's get to probably what you're all here to talk about. And that is, what's this cursed crate business? Who watched the video? Who watched the video that I posted?
Hi, Kosi.
Connor, can you play the video? The YouTube video? Is that something you could do?
Yeah. Give me You can talk a little bit, but I can do it in approximately 30 seconds.
I'm gonna find the questions that we had on Facebook.
For the life of me, my mouse won't click the screen. I cannot click. Whatever. Okay. I need to browser source.
All right.
Nope.
I guess while we're kind of waiting, what I would like to say is that one of my goals in writing and creating Don't Look Back or any of the games that I'm working on, and hopefully you see it, is that I try to respond and touch all the Facebook group messages and respond to people in Discord as much as I can. And if you are planning on running events at your store or local game place or whatever it may be, obviously I can't travel to all of them, but if you ever wanted to set something up, I would be happy to, through Discord or whatever it is, join you for a demo or meet to talk to new players via that. Just anything like that. It's important to me to meet new people and to talk to people who are interested in playing. So excuse me.
Matt will literally come to your home and hang out with you.
Thanks, Kosu. I appreciate that. But it's important. I mean, it's what I enjoy the most out of making this is actually the getting to talk to people who are interested in gaming, and it's amazing. It's my favorite part.
Ben, is sound important for this video?
It's got some music. I think the music sounds cool, but it's not that important.
I don't know if it's going to capture sound. I don't think it is.
Then it's not important.
Oh, maybe.
Who needs the experience? I mean, that's only what Don't Look Back's all about, but yeah, who needs it?
It's playing sound.
Yeah, it's picking it up.
It's playing sound.
Although, it looks like it was frozen there for a minute, so...
Yeah.
I see what's happening. All right, we're going to start it over. Here we go. Bear with me. You guys are the best. Here we go. Boom. Nailing it. 45 seconds of our lives we can't get back.
Production value. Production value. Isn't technology great?
Seven and a half out of 10 production.
Boom. Done. Did it.
Yay, we can do things. All right. So,
oh, it's playing again. Oh no, that was me. It auto played the live stream in the background. Great.
So we're gonna chat a bit about this big Cursed Crate 1.
Cursed Crate 1.
So here's the deal. And I'm gonna be totally blunt with people. We, with the VHS releases, feel like we hit a bit of a wall in terms of like sales that were coming in versus what we were spending on them. So going forward, and obviously as we start producing other games, other releases, we're not going to be able to release something for Don't Look Back every month like we have been essentially up until now. And we feel like it was possibly like there's so many expansions for people to buy that they were kind of like just like getting a little bit overwhelmed. So what we're going to do now going forward is every now and then we're going to be releasing these cursed crates, which are going to be like consolidated bundles that will have maybe a VHS expansion, will have whatever else Matt wants to write for the game, kind of all in one. And it's a chance for you guys to kind of pre-order them all together. It's a chance for Matt to create content that's like got a bit more meat on the bone, I guess, because it's kind of all consolidated into one box. So that's kind of our current plan going forward, is that you're going to see these every now and then. You're not going to see like a lot of small releases for Don't Look Back. You'll see like less releases, but when we do release stuff, they'll be a lot more substantial and kind of themed potentially. And kind of we're just going to make a bit of an event out of it. Now, it's not going to be like, when I say event, it's not going to be like a backroom Kickstarter type thing where we have like a funding goal or any of that kind of stuff, but we are going to offer some cool bonuses. And it is also a chance for you to get everything at once, and then all of the items will be kind of released individually eventually. So it's kind of like for our diehard Don't Look Back fans to kind of like get their hands on everything in one go, and get some sweet Don't Look Back content. That about pretty much sums it up, I think. This first Cursed Crate doesn't really have a theme to it. These were things that were originally planned to be released individually, but the timing kind of worked out. But then in the future, I know, Matt, you have some themes that you want to explore.
I'm actually really excited about that aspect of the Curse Crates, is getting to kind of theme a box of things together.
Exactly. And to be totally frank, a higher price point allows us to offer more value for your money as well.
So there's some things as well that would be a bit of a production risk for us, but if we can bundle it into a crate, then it allows us to take a little bit more of like a risky stance, a risky type of product, because we know that it's within a product that the other things can pad out the price. So just like financially, it makes a little bit more sense for us.
Right. Because at the end of the day, I mean, we're a pretty small company. We run all of these projects off of our own bank account. We literally, like, we don't, as you know, we don't rely on crowdfunding. We do pre-orders, but that's typically the majority of the investment's already been spent at that point. So this first Curse Crate is launching Friday. It's going to run, the pre-order is probably going to run for a couple of weeks, maybe 2-3 weeks, and then it's going to close out, and then it's going to be fulfilled. The plan is for it to be fulfilled before Halloween, but with how crazy everything is in the world right now and with how busy everyone is, let me just say this. Most people that manufacture game stuff, like the printer, our caster, are so swamped because everyone is literally at home buying game products. So everyone is scrambling to find, factories, printers, all that kind of stuff. So we'll hopefully have a more confirmed date on Friday, but we're not going to commit to anything just yet. It's going to be a sick event. So I guess let's get into, we're going to tell you guys what's in the first Cursed Crate.
All right, I got the first photo up.
Let's start with the VHS expansion, I think.
Mama Luna's Pizza.
Yeah.
All right, it's up.
Let's make that bigger.
I'm gonna make it across the cover up, Matt.
No, cover up you and me.
Yeah, okay. You can cover me up. I just live under the stairs anyways.
All right, I covered up me and you. Who's talking about this?
Matt's going to talk about it because Matt wrote it.
Matt,
all right,
talk. Use your words, man.
So if you have been here for a while, then you will remember way back to when we actually ran a scenario and we had this place called Mama Luna's Pizza in there, and that's where the sporting character Blake works. And after that, just through chat and while we were on Discord and Twitch, we sort of evolved this character who exists in Northwood, and her name is Mama Luna. That's what everybody calls her. She runs a local pizzeria, and her family, or some say even her herself, have been in Northwood for a very long time, centuries, since its founding. And she is a werewolf, and her pack works at Mama Luna's. Her family lives with her there. There are some humans who work with her too, and she is sort of like a protector of Northwood. So she uses her abilities and her powers to kind of fight back evil that lives here. And in this, we're exploring shape changing lycanthropy. So she can actually mid game change from old kind sweet Mama Luna into a raging, hulking, face eating werewolf. And also included in here is kind of her nemesis, who is the leader of a rival pack hanging out in the North Woods. It has a couple new, so it has her wolf form, this rival pack leader, and it also includes some new items and equipment cards as well. So and a plot for her. It's just the full package.
So the wolf form that's shown there is her wolf form, and there's another which I didn't have time to photograph. There is another wolf that's a different, looks similar but different pose.
Is it slightly smaller too, or is it just a different pose?
I did it a little bit smaller, so obviously that one is like she's got a foot on a bunch of pizza boxes because I was like, why not, right? And there's like some torn clothing, but I mean, I also just wanted them to work really well as like cool werewolf miniatures for people that just want it, if they just want a werewolf killer, and then that way they also work thematically with the background that Matt has written. So yeah, I think I'm actually pretty hyped for that. It's like as far as like themes go, it's definitely the most random one that's like evolved out of just like, I don't know,
the community,
the community storytelling that we've kind of had. Yeah, I think it's really cool. So that is a VHS expansion. So that comes in a VHS, the same way that all the others do. You'll have your printed character, your hero card, your killer-related rules, and then the item cards that Matt has written as well, which is awesome. So I'm pretty hyped for that. And then the other aspect of the, I guess you can bring up the image, Connor, that has the full curse crate.
Wait, you only sent me this image.
I sent. I deleted the other one. Hang on, let me send it to. It's in our group
Don't
chat.
look at that image, guys. Don't look at it.
It's in Discord.
Well, I guess we can talk about. Well, bring the other image back. Now people have seen it. Now people have seen it.
Well,
we might as well talk about it.
Let's keep the cursed crate first. Cursed crate first.
Okay. All right.
Here we go. It is now up, and I've covered up Matt.
Bye, Matt.
So it's your turn.
See ya.
Well, I mean, this is still stuff that Matt has written.
Oh,
so he might as well talk about it.
All right, Matt. So we have Mama Luna's Pizza. We talked about that. The trilogies. Matt, trilogies. What is it?
It is probably in the top 2 things that have been asked for from the community, and it is narrative play that will allow you to tie 3 or more plots together, and it will track your characters and the killer between each plot that you play. And I don't want to go into too much detail, but essentially the killer will come back as either a return or a pursuit. And a pursuit represents minutes up to an hour, same day, of the killer following the characters, pursuing them through one plot to another. And a return can represent like months, years later. The characters have healed from some of their injuries. Maybe they have some more traumatic, lasting ones. And then, kind of when they think that they're safe and they've reintegrated back into society and moved on, the killer strikes again. So there are lots of things to pursue and kind of ways to follow and enjoy the characters through 3 plots. But it's also written that you could, if you wanted to link 10, go for it.
So yeah, I was going to say
it's a booklet. Let's say it is a set of rules. It is 16 pages. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. It is currently 16 pages as of the layout as of today. Yes.
So it is not just a single sheet. It's the same size as our current as the Lunar rulebook, the new Black Site Standard. So it is a substantial thing all on its own. So we know what the VHS is, the trilogies, Link's Play. He just gave a breakdown, and then you guys will see this little deck of cards here in the bottom corner. Which go ahead, Matt.
And that is our Twists of Fate and Environments decks. So in here, there will be ways for you to further increase the narrative of your plots by adding things like atmospheres and terrains. They're designed to be table-wide, or you can use them specifically with a piece of terrain. Just one example is muddy. You could make the entire table muddy, which has an effect, or if you wanted to, you could just choose something like a swamp feature or an unplanted farm field, and you could use the rules for muddy with that, lay your card next to it, and you have the rules for it. They also tie into trilogies. There are rules for using them in there, kind of in a different way, or a more specific way. And the deck itself will come with 3 kind of suggested ways that you can use the environments and atmospheres. And then the last piece of it is the Twists of Fate, which are things like boons and curses, and then a third element, which is conditions, and that's more sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Not long-lasting injuries. They are sort of like conditions and things that can happen sort of in the moment, but can also go away.
Yeah. So I would say Matt has added another element that you can use. Again, absolutely not required to play the core game. All right. We'll say this. If just to add extra narrative layer to your games that Don't Look Back. And it does work really well with the trilogies expansion too. I'm actually like pretty hyped for the card deck. As I was doing all the like art for all the environments, I was like, "Oh, sounds fun," you know. I think a lot of you guys who are like really enjoying the game will really like the added narrative aspect. And then the miniature that is shown there too. Connor, bring that one back on.
I brought it up. I brought it up, baby.
So in the trilogy expansion, Matt, you can elaborate on this a little bit, I guess, if you want, is that there is a sample trilogy called Visions. And that miniature is the killer for it, the seer.
And so the back of in the back of it, you're going to find a fully laid out trilogy of plots called Visions, and this is the seer who will be pursuing the characters through 3 plots. Everything is laid out in them like a regular plot, so she has her stats and her special rules, but it also talks about using specific environments and terrain elements, the atmospheres and terrain, and how and what kind of twists of fate that you might want to use through there. So it's all kind of laid out for each one. Takes place over 3 movies.
Yeah.
And this is probably I was saying this earlier, this is probably one of my favorite Ben sculpts. I absolutely love this. And it's not at all what I had in my head, which is like the theme. This is what I love. I write these things, have like what's in my head. Ben reads through it, and then he starts designing something. It's not at all what I had in my head, and I love that. It's like my favorite part of this partnership.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do, it's, inspired, if anyone's seen movies like Midsummer, that kind of like culty vibe, like the flowy dress with the flower crown type thing. And just something a little different, like rather than just do like a, regular cultist with like a pointy hat or something.
There's classic pointy hat cultists.
No, I'm not talking about the KKK, all right? I'm talking about your like classic, like like I'm talking about your classic, like Cthulhu-esque cultist type guy.
All right, so to clarify, the VHS, the trilogies, and the deck That's what's coming in the Curse Crate 1. You're getting a bonus miniature. So this miniature it's kind of like a back room. It's not back room, kind of though. If you order it during this window, you'll get this miniature for free. Eventually, this miniature will probably make it into our production pipeline and be mass produced. But at first, this is going to be special during this pre-order window. You guys get it. We consolidate, we end it, it goes out. And then once everyone has theirs, they'll probably be split off into their own products and available for purchase again. And we're looking at kind of doing this, again, like you said, maybe hard to say time frame, every 2 to 3 months sort of thing. You know, if we could hit every major season, that would be great. And
ideally once every quarter, but that's kind of a rough guideline at the moment.
And I also want to use this to, like we were saying earlier, kind of write some more substantial things. So that will also, I mean, some of it will kind of depend on, play testing and making sure that these kind of larger elements are working well and fit into the game well. But I have lots of ideas for things that people have been excited about, but have been sort of beyond just a single VHS release.
Trilogies has 3 new scenarios in it. So as part of the book, Matt has written an example set. There's three plots that you can play through that utilize the killer called the Seer, which is the miniature that we're giving you as part of the Curse Crate. Again, I want to stress, none of this content is exclusive, all right?
Yeah.
But it is exclusive in its current form, if that makes sense, right? It's all going to be released eventually separately, right? Even the Seer miniature, right? As you know, anyone who watched us, we don't like exclusive kind of gotcha type things, but we do want to reward people. Let me just rephrase this. It is really important to reward the people that support us consistently and from the get-go. So everyone that jumps on this Curse Crate, right, we're going to reward you with this additional miniature and a couple of other little free gift bits, maybe some stickers, and an enamel pin if we can get around to it. Like we always say, we really like to give back to the people that, support these releases kind of sight unseen. And this is like the best way for us to do that. I think that pretty much sums up. That is Cursed Crate 1.
Which
this is...
We'll be releasing when?
This Friday.
This Friday, in which you will see us playing. Which one?
So Matt and I were talking about it earlier. We're gonna try and figure out. It's like so much content. It's like we don't know whether we want to start the Visions campaign or whether we want to play a Mama Luna's. I'm thinking maybe we play Mama Luna's, but I don't know. We'll see how we feel on Friday.
So it'll be releasing this Friday, $59.99 TBD. May change. We're finalizing the cost, but we're pretty sure it's going to be right around there. Maybe cheaper, but may not. Maybe more expensive. Who knows? Right around $59.99. We have Mama Luna's coming out, and again, all of this stuff you'll get down the line. It's just if you want to get it all after this Cursed Crate, you're going to pay a little bit more. Like if you want the miniature, the money's you're gonna have to end up paying for the mini. We're marking out the price without the mini in mind because it is a bonus. It is a free thing. Now, we do have a few other things releasing this Friday, and if we're playing Mama Luna's, it will become pretty important to have those things. So, Ben, I have now pulled up this other picture.
Yeah, because you guys are going to be all in horror mode. We're gonna hook you up with a few other releases too.
Yep.
We've got Horror Pack D releasing this Friday. This is all for pre-order, by the way. So Horror Pack D is coming out. It includes the killer show in there, which I don't really have a name for that. I've just been calling it the Mummy, as in like like a creepy like. I was just like, what's the creepiest name for this? I was like, well, it's just called Mummy. That thing, it just like came out of my imagination. I was like, oh, I need some creepy, tall, like strange looking thing. So that is releasing for pre-order this Friday too. We will most likely have a big old bundle deal with everything if people want it. And then what else do we have on that list?
Well, first fallback, we will have, if we're at Adepticon, if that, the fates deem it so, yes, Don't Look Back and Lunar and Anomaly and maybe a few other games are going to be at Adepticon, available not only for playtesting, but for, or not playtesting, for playthroughs, but for sale too. We also have the Paranormal Investigators on this list.
Yep. So that's another, just like a dual set of models. You'll know them when you see them. We've previewed them in the past, painted by Adam at Invisible Hand Studios. Those will be up for pre-order too. And then we will also have a Mama Luna's Pizzeria MDF kit, which we will be Connor and I are cutting the prototype of that tomorrow. So that'll be fun.
Now, we have some plans. I don't know if, Ben, did you follow through with my idea that I told you the other night? We're sticking to that?
The Marja Street one?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so we're making Mama Luna's Pizzeria to fit the bottom floor of the Marja Street apartment. So you can use it as Mama Luna's Pizzeria, little town square in Northwood. But if you have like a Marvel Crisis Protocol table or something like that, you buy Mama Luna's and a Marja, you can then mix and match the floors and have a little brownstone corner with a pizzeria as the bottom of
That's awesome.
Floors. So it should be pretty sick. We'll see tomorrow how it all pans out. But I kind of like that idea of starting to like make it retroactively work with older kits, so you can like mix and match, and then cut. If we do this 3 or 4 times, and you could have a whole table out of just 3 or 4 kits mix and matched and stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
That's kind of like gives people a bit of extra use. So that'll be launching as well this Friday. Again, just like I think everyone will be requesting that MDF kit, so we were like, why not? The Camp Northwood thing. Okay, so I was going to close off pre-orders for that on Monday. I'm going to close them off on Friday night instead, because there's a couple of people that wanted to get those in, and it kind of just made sense. But just know that if you order on Friday, you're like going to be on the absolute end of that list. And you're not going to get your Camp Northwood until the Curse Crate's ready to ship, all right?
It is a long list.
Yeah.
That Camp Northwood, you guys have been eating it up.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
We've sold a lot of those. We started shipping some lake house cabins the other day. That kind of is like being coming off the machine. And then we're still on track for kind of probably first week of October shipping for the rest of the Camp Northwood stuff as
it's not before. We're aiming for before, but
we're aiming for before, but
as we always do. But if you aim for the moon, you land among the stars. Something.
Yeah. So for those of us that buy the crate, if the scenario comes of the additional model, we will need to buy that kit for the scenario. Do you mean MDF kits, like building kits or anything? No, you don't.
I think he means, will there be like, if I wrote a plot, like, is this going to turn into a VHS thing or just a single model that'll come out later?
Oh, do you mean
with the seer? No, so any like standalone model will I'd say 90% end up either being a standalone. They may get wrapped up in like a horror pack or something, depending on how popular or what our production looks like. But we're not gonna be like, oh, you should have bought it because now it's $50.
Because honestly,
gouge you on that after the fact.
The scenarios, the plots for her are in the trilogy's book. I mean, that's what she was designed for. That's what it's written for. And honestly, if people were like, oh, we really love her, I wouldn't feel comfortable with making it like you missed out on that. So if I wrote an additional plot for her, I would totally be willing to just throw that one into the downloads thing. If people are like, we want to see her again, then I can write that up.
Yeah.
You guys could probably do some layout and we just plop that one in the downloads.
Exactly, yeah.
Can I mention, since somebody had asked this as a question and it's sort of coming for that, we were talking about like with the BMX bikers have been a big question.
Oh yeah. Feel free to talk about those, because we may even be able to get those out ready to download on Friday.
So a lot of people were asking about the BMX bikers becoming characters. So we actually have them in playtesting. They're pretty much done, and we were talking about creating them as a digital product. And I think one of the things that this is still like we were talking about it, but even though they'll be like the cursed crates will be every quarter, you're talking about doing some little things as a digital product that doesn't have to go into the same production line that other things do, and then having those for sale for just like, whatever that is. I don't know. I don't do costing and pricing. But if there's things like we were talking about the Paranormal Investigators, I mean, I have a whole thing for like paranormal investigating written that we were talking about creating a product for too, but that would just be a digital product to buy.
Yeah, and I'm actually glad you brought that up, Matt. So we have been talking a lot about offering a lot more just like smaller rules downloads and stuff. We will most likely never offer the core rules as a download. I don't know if that will change in the future, but we are really enjoying selling it as a physical product. But little additional like character cards, things like that, things that Matt cooks up, it's very easy for us to offer those up, as a paid digital download. It's not going to cost you like a ton of money, and it'll just be like a way for you to kind of like get a little bit of extra content.
And for things that you've made that aren't necessarily for DLB that people have asked for, it's a nice, like the BMX bikers aren't technically a DLB release, but people have been like, why can't we play them? And don't look back. Exactly. So here you go.
Yeah.
A few questions. Malevid asked if we bought a DLB right now. They, as of today, are on the shelf ready to go. So they should be going out unless your order has other back-ordered stuff. In fact, I think we sent out like 30 or 40 copies of the orders that had the boxes today.
But Malev, don't you buy one? We'll send you one.
Right. We'll just send you one because you're fine.
You're forbidden. You're forbidden from buying one.
Let's see, other questions. Future cabins. No, we are cabined out. Although I do love this table. This table is incredible.
Bye, fall back. Have a great night.
I kind of do want to make other cabins. Although, yeah. So no plans right now. There's a lot of other stuff in between now and then, at least. Can we play trilogies in the usual camp terrain? Yes, you can. Right? You can play the trilogies in whatever setup
you can want. Invent your own trilogies.
It makes the
rules,
framework. Right? So based on whatever setting, you could skip settings. You can do all sorts of things. The provided example, the seer, can that be played pretty much anywhere?
So the way my kind of philosophy for designing is that you can always change, and we did this earlier on Twitch, you can always reskin them for whatever you want. I wrote trilogies to sort of pursue through 3 different kind of landscapes, and they kind of match up with the game mats that are out for all that you guys have made. So if you have them, you'll see how they kind of follow that. But if you wanted it to be in the camp solely and use that terrain, you can. So the only thing that changes that's written in there kind of by plot that would physically change is if you have and are choosing to use the environments and atmosphere cards, those change kind of based on which plot you are in that trilogy. But the terrain, you can really make it whatever you want to fit your terrain in your table.
At its core, and Matt's been really incredible at accomplishing this goal, because it's not easy when you're trying to write a narrative-based game. But Don't Look Back is a generic game, and that's why we stress, like, you don't need any of this stuff to play the game. You buy the box, that's what you have. And the expansions is really more to zero in on your favorite type of horror film, or if you have a favorite movie in particular, or you like slashers, or creepers, or people in the shadows, or demons, or serial killers. Creepers, baby. That's when you get it. And the trilogies is constructed in the very same way. It's made generically, but with a framework that you can ultimately kind of play whatever story more appeals to you. So you could get the core game and just the trilogies. You could skip out the Cursed Crate, get the trilogies when they eventually come out on their own, and that would be enough. That'd be all you could play. You could get the core crate, one expansion. Just, it's really up to you. We had made some. we've been talking about making kind of like a guide for like how to decide which expansion would be better. Have we like enacted that yet? I know Matt, you had written some things, right?
So I'm working on a new page for the Don't Look Back stuff that'll have a lot of that sort of like
Gotcha.
you kind of like, oh,
There
I'm
have
new
to
to
be some
Don't
live
Look
because
Back.
somebody put a picture in that was like, oh, I can't believe you've seen this movie and put it in there. But I wrote for all of them like a
Yeah,
blurb that sort of says, this is what this is. This is a killer expansion. It offers you 2 plots, the killer. If you enjoy these movies, like this is up your
I
alley.
think I went in and
Yeah,
put
Chem
some of
Dog.
those in.
Yeah.
I can't remember that.
We're going to be expanding on that because we do understand it's like, oh, there's like a dozen things already. The game's a year. How is this? What do? I don't want to miss out. But it's pretty. It's just there for you to tailor your story a little bit.
Right.
But you could also do it on your own. I mean, if you buy the core game, you get the rules, you get the stuff, you have your own terrain already, and you don't mind sitting and smashing out a character profile if you feel like you can kind of understand how to build a balanced killer, or not. If you just want someone that's going to slaughter everybody, you could accidentally do that.
Because there's some people, and I know this for a fact, they've literally only just bought the core game. They've never bought anything else, and they just do their own thing. Like that, they have their own narrative in mind. They maybe just want to recreate horror films that they love, and that's fine too, you know.
Yeah.
But obviously, Matt has created his Matt verse. Northwoods universe that he's really passionate about creating, and we're really passionate about supporting that, and kind of like,
which,
you know,
it leads me, Fallhark, this is an old question, but you had asked what kinds of things are risky. And typically it's the more narrative stuff. It's the more niche stuff. It's the stuff that's a little bit more costly for us to produce or outside of our norm. So like a card deck with a box is one of those things. Like buying a deck of cards and the boxes that they go in can get pretty pricey pretty fast. And it only makes sense for us to buy those if we're ordering in hundreds or, you know, hopefully 1,000 plus, because that's when costs actually are effective. If we released that as a single product, ordered 500, and like only 40 people ever bought it, that would not be good. As Ben said, as a small company, we're very much like we eat what we kill. What we kill this week is on the dinner table next. So all of these sorts of things.
Literally, we kill people.
Right. We are cannibals, and it's just the way it is. But no, we kind of have to measure these kinds of choices out. And we want Matt to be able to write those narrative things, to have this world, because he has a whole grail book of ideas that can go to
Matt, let me just speak on behalf of Matt, that this dude has no shortage of ideas that he wants to get made for Don't Look Back. And, you know, we often get asked, like, there's a lot of things that kind of tie into this, what we're trying to build is like...
Oh, he's got multiple books now. He's got 3 books now, man.
I had to go bigger. The little ones, there was the little one, the next size up, and then the gigantic one.
Look at that. That's full. Those are chock full of ideas. But you know, it's like, again, you know, and Connor and I are really transparent with you guys. We try our best to be really just blunt with people, because sometimes people don't. Sometimes people assume we're a much bigger company than we are. We rely on your support to keep these games going and to grow them beyond what they are. And Don't Look Back, we've been really fortunate that Matt's written a really excellent rule set and people seem to really love it. So we'll keep supporting it as long as you guys keep supporting the game and keep buying what we put out.
And that's, I mean, at its core, beyond the mechanics, beyond the one-size-fits-all idea behind like the core box, being able to kind of do whatever you want, as difficult as that is, the true like narrative story that's coming out of Northwoods in Matt's head, I think, is like really fun. I think we have no qualms about admitting that there's a ton of tabletop games out there. I mean, the industry is getting easier to get into. There's a lot of people producing stuff. There's a lot of people with a lot of great ideas. There's a lot of people with some generic ideas. But those games are still fun. So at its core, Don't Look Back, the thing that we really like about it, and why Ben and I feel super lucky that we kind of fell into it with Matt, is that it does have this narrative and this story aspect that is beyond it. Now that doesn't always like sell people, you know. People don't buy a tabletop game expecting to get a novel down the line. But if we could make that happen, we'd like to, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, literally. I mean, it's, you know.
And I try to write everything in a, like, even though all these characters that come in the core set are named and they have lore that goes with them, you know, at the end of the day, they are your tropes from the movie. So everything I try to create is still within that trope. So you can say, like, Father Gabriel, I think of all the time. Erase his name and you've just got your priest, you know, your mildly possessed priest. And you can tell your own story. So I've really enjoyed that you guys, that Ben and Connor, have let me create my own game within the game, so that if you're into just creating horror and you want to do remakes and movies, go for it. If you're interested in the Northwood lore, that's also there is something to explore, and you can do both. You can enjoy and explore Northwood with me, or you can, you know, take a day off and recreate the Jason movies. You know, that's what I really enjoy about it.
So, and with that in mind, the trilogy's expansion, the environments, the Fates deck, Mama Luna's, the MDF, all those things are what come from that. And we're pretty excited about getting them out. So,
should be fun.
Is that about it?
Friday at 6:00 p.m.
This Friday?
CST, this coming Friday.
6:00
17th.
CST.
6:00 is generally the time that we go live. Sometimes we slip a little bit late if we're like really swamped. And we'll be playing. It'll be the three of us. We'll play through some fun Don't Look Back content. If you're new, let me just say this: we've had a very large influx of new people in the last month. Tons of people have been getting into the game. The Facebook group is now at over 700 people. We're shipping out lots of copies of Don't Look Back every day. So if you're new, welcome. Make sure you come join the Facebook page, Facebook group, and we have a really good Discord as well. Someone might be able to put the command in for that in the chat. The Discords, I always like to say this is like, if you want like an immediate response, the Discord is actually the best place to get that, because like Connor and I use Discord for our day-to-day like company chat, and we're all like kind of like trolling around in the Discord. And then the Facebook group is also really good, just community. Tons of people posting like really cool pics and just like generally hanging out. I realized we never went through the Q&A on the Facebook page group. Sorry. Let's go through that real quick. Any plans for Krampus Christmas? Asked by Adam Smith. I can easily say we'll probably do something for Christmas, right, Matt?
Do
something. Any updates on possible UK shipping? Yes, we already went through that. Will there possibly be a Mama Luna's pizza shop? Yes, we already went through that. What does the future hold for Blackside Studio? Any in-studio campaigns you guys are running now that you have got more than 2 dudes? I think to do that, Scott, we're going to need more than what we have now. In terms of Connor and I are still like working long hours.
Yeah.
We're all working a lot, so we're going to need to get some more stuff.
I'm going to derail and throw this out live because you've got awesome post-apocalyptic terrain and those characters, and we've talked about doing like a Discord-related role-playing game at some point. This just came in the mail, which is the new Modifius 2D20 Fallout role-playing game.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
And I would be so keen to run that. I think,
dude, if you want to run an RPG for us, and I don't have to do anything, and you do it all,
you'd have to do nothing.
I'm in for that.
You would literally have to do the same thing we do now and have a table with cool Fallout-y terrain on it, and I will run the game.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down for that. Someone's asking Coke or Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper for me.
Coke.
You
actually collect
Northerner.
I collect.
I have a can of New Coke. Do you remember New Coke from like the 80s or the 70s or some shit?
Yeah. Yep.
I have a can of New Coke on my shelf. My brother-in-law gave them to me.
Official BSS t-shirts. Yes, actually, follow our Facebook and check out the Discord. We should have some stuff for you like within the next couple of days?
I am going to try my hardest. So I think we're going to use Redbubble as a way for people to just like get t-shirts and stuff and hats and things like that. I'm going to try my absolute hardest. Well, Connor and I are going to try our hardest to get a couple of items live on Friday. So if you want to get like a Mum Luna's t-shirt or like a Don't Look Back t-shirt or something, I can't tell you if that's going to happen 100%. I got a lot I need to get done before Friday, but we'll try.
Right. If it doesn't happen by Friday, it'll happen soon. And also worth noting, they do sell socks.
And underpants too.
We could put Seth's head on the side of them, like make some Seth socks.
I just want a set of underpants with Seth's head on it.
Yes.
Imagine that. Okay, couple of other questions to get through real quick. Rules for a playable killer, please. So I would say the top 3 requested things: playable killer, create your own characters, and linked games. So linked games is coming. Matt is working on create your own character stuff at the moment. Playable killer, I don't know, maybe at some point. We'll see. It's in his book.
Yes. In the book.
Yeah. The more people ask for stuff, the more likely it'll happen. Are there any scenarios in the works to use characters from Horror Pack A through C, soon to be A through D? I can probably answer that. So the Horror Packs are not really tied to Don't Look Back, right? They're all just generic miniatures, okay? The idea is like if you have the core game and you're just playing generic slasher trope stuff, that's what you can use them with. I don't see any need for us to write scenarios or plots to use some of those. But we've been talking about maybe doing like a community competition, like plot scenario competition, which we'll probably do at some point this year. So maybe that could be a chance for people to create their own. Should be great. Someone's asking, with the release of some STLs, is there a possibility of a PDF? No, we're not going to do a PDF of the rules, and I'm gonna tell you why. And again, I'm gonna be super blunt with you. We won't make any money selling a $6.99 rule booklet. So the rules for Don't Look Back are they're now 20 something pages. It's a small booklet. All right, it's not a book. It's not like your traditional rule book. It's not really viable to sell it alone. And I mean, how honest do I want to be here right now? Let me think for a second.
Don't be offensive.
Can I say something real quick?
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even before, so this is obviously my first foray into writing games. And when we talked about this and I went to Ben and Connor with the design concept, and why the original game was so heavy and so big. This game for me is like a callback to when I was a kid, and you would sit around the table, and my favorite part of that was playing D&D or like 3rd edition 40K or whatever it was, and you pass the rule book around. You look at things together, you are together with these people that you enjoy playing games with. And I wanted to create, and that's why it says that it's an experience on the box. It's meant to be everything comes out of it and you have everything that you need. And I like when, and some people disagree with this and that's fine, but I like when we're playing and you have a question and we physically pass the rule book to another person and you're looking through it, enjoying art or, whatever that is. So yes, it doesn't make as much money when it sells as a PDF, but for me, even if Ben and Connor were like, hey, we really want to sell this as a PDF, I would probably be very reluctant to do that. And they've even said, if we sold a PDF of this, you would make more money on it because there's not the printing and the whatever that goes on to it. Mm-hmm. And I very much was like, that's not why I'm doing it. It's not about the more money or the dollars. It's the experience and the product.
Right. I mean, look, Matt couldn't have said it better. I mean, for anyone that doesn't know, Matt gets a cut of every sale. Don't Look Back. So everything that he writes, he gets a percentage of. So you're directly supporting the writer as well as the company that shells out the money to produce.
Thank you for that.
And I mean, look, I mean, the reality is, right, is that, and I've said this before, so I'm fine with saying this. Like, I totally get why people want a PDF, by the way. Like, I totally understand. With how expensive shipping is, like, you'd much rather just buy, like, a $6.99 PDF and just use your horror miniatures that you can get on Thingiverse and 3D print. Like, I totally get it. We wouldn't make any money by doing that. Is the total blunt, rationale. And I think most people totally can understand that. And it's sort of the same with selling the booklet separately too. Like, we'd much rather, like, we're really passionate about creating these experiences for people, and by selling you the booklet, I mean, $59.99 is like a pretty good price point, in my opinion, for a complete game system. And you get some, like, cool miniatures, the killer. It's like, it's all done. What we'd rather do is make it more accessible for people outside the United States. And that goes back to the Zonos, goes back to getting it into distribution and all that kind of stuff. So I think that pretty much sums up that question. Someone posted one of those questions of, like, a train leaves Haddonfield, Illinois. I can't. My brain's not working to do that. If anyone else wants to answer that, then they can do that. And then someone was asking for the BMX kits, which we already answered. So,
Falherk, you had mentioned the price for the pizzeria. I can't give it to you. If you look at buildings like the Kingsley, the Bayer, I mean, like, I could throw a range out that's not going to help you. But it's going to be like a single-story-ish building, so it shouldn't be too bad. Once we get the file, we do the proto cuts of it, then we lay it out, and we have a fancy Excel sheet that calculates the range for us.
I'm gonna say it should be under $50.
Yes, I was gonna say 30 to 50, which is a big range, but
it should be under. My current design, which we're gonna cut tomorrow. Keep an eye on our Instagram. We might post a few little preview pics for that. So yeah, I would say. Someone was asking about the foam inserts. We don't do those anymore. Those were like a huge hassle. They were fine. Again, this goes back to like growth. Like,
remember when this was first coming out and we were like, hopefully we'll sell 10 of these.
Okay, all right. Anyone shoot. I was literally like, when we were launching the game, I was like, dude, if we sell 30 of these, this would be sick. That'd be awesome. Like, I was like, that'd be great. Sell 30 of this game, this would be awesome. Like, and it's literally, I would say we've sold in the thousands at this point. Like, so
cutting those foam inserts was great when it was like cutting
the
like
foam
20 or 40 at a time, but now it's like, we have to pack up 500 copies to send to distribution.
It doesn't work, and it doesn't work on scale. So now with Don't Look Back, and again, to let you in on a business side thing, is like every time we do something, we have to figure out how to do it on scale. So if things go from hundreds to thousands, we have to be able to do that in a really effective way. So everything that we make, except for the cards, is produced here inside the US as well, which is really cool. The MDF we produce in-house, a bunch of the other components we produce in-house. The miniatures are all cast here in the US. So we're really fortunate that our production costs are all we keep pretty good handle on them. But the foam inserts is something that we had to do ourselves, and it was just a nightmare. We did look into having them produced as like a plastic insert, but the cost to do the mold, it was like tens of thousands of dollars. And at that point, I'd much rather people just invest in a really nice foam carrying case or something. Like, on, there's a lot of really good options these days for like, you could buy like one case and it'll fit all your Don't Look Back stuff in.
And on Facebook or Discord, people have posted like what they've done to make foam inserts as well, and to do certain things to create things inside of them.
Yeah.
So you can definitely go check that out if you haven't.
Chemdog, that's actually a really, really good idea that we may actually do an STL to print. if you want to print it on your like FDM printer, something that can just like hold everything in place, yeah, we could do that for sure. We could just put that up for free too. If you really want foam, I don't know if either anyone's mentioned this, but you can actually get on and buy sheets of pluck foam.
Someone's mentioned that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Cool.
And
it's pretty easy. Yep. You know, so yeah. All right. I think that just about covers everything, right?
Yeah. So this Friday, guys, Trilogy's release, Mama Luna's Pizzeria release, Horror Pack D release. Something else?
Some other, I don't know, anything else that we can manage.
Environments.
Oh yeah, but yeah, Twisted. There's a lot of stuff to do this Friday. We're gonna be playing a game. If you're tuning in to see us play and you're being disappointed right now, tune in Friday at 6 Central Time, and you won't be disappointed. You'll be very pleased.
I hope you'll be pleased.
Well, yeah. Tune in to. Not tune in. Check out the Instagram tomorrow. Probably see some sneaky peeks of Mama Luna's Pizzeria coming hot off the lasers. Maybe some other things too, and I think that covers it.
One last thing, I have to say thank you to all the people who are supporting Don't Look Back, and also a big thank you to our playtesters, because they spend a lot of time focusing in my vision and
big shout out
making it the best it can be.
Big shout out to our playtesters in general, actually. Everyone that's playtesting Luna stuff, Don't Look Back, Anomaly, you guys are all like super cool people. If you are interested in playtesting and you are that type of person who loves to pull rules apart, playtest, and get in our Discord, drop a message in the general and be like, I am a playtesting boy. And
we have plenty of stuff.
Oh, and Yafsiga Kosu's in here in chat. We're playtesting his game. And
if you like fantasy, if you like Don't Look Back, if you like horror, we got a little bit of everything right now.
Oh, there's a list.
If you like, if you want to playtest one of Matt's 100 games that he's written, and if you want a sick, okay, we're talking about exclusives, right? If you're a playtester, we will literally send you an exclusive pin.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, BSS playtester on it, and it's awesome. None of them have gone out yet.
We only ordered like 50 of them. Because we take playtesting seriously here. Take it really seriously.
We're going for quality over quantity.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. That's it.
That's it.
I would say that's
it. Lunar orders are going to be going out the door tomorrow. Some back-ordered stuff's going out the door tomorrow. All of the early bird except for one guy, which is my fault. If your initials are JM and you're waiting on your early bird and you're in chat, I sincerely apologize, because 100% I just lost your order. It's going out tomorrow. All the tier 2s and cores have gone out. We're just on tier 3s. So yeah, Lunar's going out tomorrow. You're waiting on that. I think that's about it. Is that the only other Lunar MDF?
Yeah, just thank you everybody so much for hanging out and supporting us and just being awesome and making this as fun as it is.
And we will see you on Friday night at 6 o'clock Central Time. CST. We are in Texas. Matt is not in Texas, but that's okay.
Central.
Forgive me for that.
We collectively are in Texas. That's where our hearts are, even Matt's.
So,
thanks for coming by tonight, guys. Thanks for hanging out at this Black Site Fireside Chat. We will see you in a few short days.
Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.